Hello, I'm Toycat, and where is Manhattan? It's a very simple question with a very simple answer. Manhattan, the county, is very easily geographically constrained because it covers an entire island. It's as easy as that. Manhattan Island is Manhattan, except if you're a geography nerd, you might know about Roosevelt Island and Governor's Island, also under the jurisdiction of Manhattan, and then that's about it, right? Except, wait a minute, if we click on Manhattan on Google Maps, you'll also see there's a little exclave over here in what should be the Bronx, and it looks like it's separated by a wide river on the map. And if we look in person, you can see it's not just a river, it's an incredibly wide it's an incredibly wide canal. It is a waterway, a major one in fact, that lots of traffic goes through, or used to go through. And so how is it that this is Manhattan when this is Manhattan Island? And that's the kind of question I wanted to talk about today. So why is this Manhattan? Why is this area of Marble Hill a part of Manhattan when it doesn't feel like Manhattan, and geographically it clearly is not part of it? And the simple answer is that, oh, that canal over there is actually man-made. It was a thing they decided to build to connect the Harlem rivers with the Hudson so they could get a lot of trade going through there. Simple as that. It's a man-made canal. But then the answer becomes, wait a minute, so if that's a man-made canal, then what exactly makes Manhattan Island? Is Manhattan even an island if it's only an island by canal? And the answer, first of all, be yes, but then second of all, how did they work out the boundaries of Manhattan? This is one of those fun rabbit holes to dive down, because when you look into it, when you try to work out the answer is that the Bronx has actually not existed forever like the other boroughs of New York. Manhattan County has existed forever. Kings County, known as Brooklyn, has existed forever. And you know, like you go far back and that's the case. However, the Bronx, the county that this should be a part of, is actually a lot newer than that. The Bronx was made from parts of Westchester County, if I'm not mistaken. And this is such a messy neighborhood to record in. It's so loud all the time. New York is incredibly loud. Everything is always yelling at you. Okay, this alleyway looks like a good idea. Everyone always says famously, if you want to stay safe, stay in all the alleyways. Cars can't get in alleyways, so they can't hurt you, so you're fine. Oh, the alleyway actually took me to a really nice place. So when you research this, you just find out that the Bronx didn't exist at the time, and so obviously it was a part of Manhattan, not the Bronx. But that's not the answer to your question, is it? You find out all the weird, wacky facts about, like, this is actually one of the cheapest, neighborhoods in Manhattan. It is one of the few places where people still do own homes as opposed to scary apartments. Nowadays, that's slowly started to shift, and even this is starting to become homes renovated into apartments. But look around, you can see they were houses. You can live in a house here, and that is insane for what is known as the most densely populated New York borough. But it's not the answer to the question you're looking for, right? It's not the answer to the simple, why is this Manhattan though? It's clearly geographically not Manhattan, and yet it is. I mean, you're looking at the map a billion times, you're seeing not a single trace of an old river, you're not seeing anywhere that would logically define why this is Manhattan and then not the things around it, and why it used to be a part of Manhattan Island. And the simple answer, you know, I don't want to tease you too much, but the simple answer is just, oh, as it turns out, there used to be a river, and that river was natural, but it was super narrow. It wasn't useful enough, and of course boats could still get from, again, the Harlem River over to the Hudson River, but they had to go all the way around, and if they were a small enough boat they could go through. And this is when humans stepped in and went, nah, I don't like this, and they stepped up and they built that canal. But then the crazier thing is the fact that given that the river was no longer needed, we just filled that in. This is a story not of a weird, wacky neighborhood, although it totally is. Like, it's weird to me. It looks like we're in suburban America, but we're in one of the most densely populated counties in the entirety of the US. Maybe the most densely populated, but we're in this incredibly densely populated area, and yet there are cute little suburban homes, right? It's insane. It doesn't seem possible, and it functionally isn't, because this is a part of Manhattan only because we make rules with the intention that they last forever, but humans do things a lot faster than forever. It might take 100 million years for a river to be made, but it takes just 224 years from American independence to, making a new canal to, filling in the old river. And I said 224 years, but that was all before the year 1900. Humans could dig, rewrite and reroute an entire waterway. Humans could build the subway stations and the train lines and all of these things to connect this area, and the houses and everything around you. This was all built by people, but it's wacky because this was all built by people a long time ago. We often have this kind of misguided view of the past, I guess, sometimes. They're like, oh, things are so backwards back then. And it's totally true that the past is less than the present in so many ways. But it's also incredible that things that are considered to be great by today's standards, in fact, they can be so good that they just look like they've always been there, are things that actually took a huge amount of work a long time ago. The only reason there are single family homes here is because at one point it was a part of Manhattan, and so people lived at the very edge of Manhattan and they built themselves a home. This used to be, it's funny, when you look at New York and you see it even like 150 years ago, you can see people were living all across Manhattan in these like single family dwellings. These I think row houses is the Dutch term, but terraced houses is the English term. People lived in terraced houses, and that was 150 years ago. But slowly this like need of people to have places to go, this need of people to do things expanded, and people decided to fill those needs. This reminds me a lot of San Francisco. Look at this driveway right here. They have to go all the way up there. It's crazy. It's a nutty place to look around. But yeah, basically the entirety of this story, this little tiny rabbit hole, because there's so many like this in the New York area that I've been considering talking about, but instead of diving into each of them separately, let's just instead acknowledge that there is a neighborhood in Manhattan which is separate from the rest in such a wide way that you could never tell without knowing that history, without having without knowing the backstory. There is just this weird little anomaly, and it exists because of this tendency of humans to under-believe and under-remember just how incredible and how fast humans can do things. New York City is a city with only 300 to 400 years of history, and yet the pace of its development is insane to look at. There are cities, you take Shenzhen, a city that in 1980 looked like this, and now it looks like this. It's one of the major capitals of tech around the world. Forgetting the speed that humans can move at when when they choose to is something that is I guess incredible to me. Right now I'm on Kingsbridge Avenue. Do you wanna see my proof? Here is a street sign, and there is a deli that says the Grocery Deli of Kingsbridge Avenue. And calling itself, this being called Kingsbridge Avenue seems insane, right? Why is it? Whose king is it? Which king decided this was be a bridge? But if you look at the Revolutionary War, this was a key battlefield actually. Like the crossing between Manhattan and the rest of New York happened here. You can dive into the weird history of that, and it's a whole other rabbit hole. But this used to be a bridge. If I'm not mistaken, there was a toll you had to pay to get across it, and so there was a toll bridge here to connect Manhattan to what wasn't even the Bronx yet, and now it is just a road. Looking around, even if you live here, the majority of people won't spot it. And the point I'm trying to make here is that humans do incredible things. We downplay humans so much, mostly for political reasons, right? Like, humans suck, am I right? That's all we need, people that are better than humans, politicians, but only the right politicians. We like to downplay humans all the time and talk about how much we suck, and it's so easy to do so. There's a natural bias to realize all the terrible things about humans. So many terrible things have happened to me as a result of humans. Yeah, that is totally true. However, also, the other wacky, weird thing is that humans do incredible things that you don't even know. It's just by walking through New York, you can experience the value of tens of thousands of people's hard work without even noticing it. Because the thing... I always turn off the camera when something weird's happening, and I regret it. I just got stopped by a kid who asked, am I doing YouTube? And I just, I said, nah man, and walked off. He's like, you racist, bro? See, the fact that you can not know all of this, you can be riding around your scooter, see a guy recording it, and think that's weird because this is just normal to you, and then assume that, he must have had some motivation towards you that was impure. Isn't that beautiful? Actually, that is the perfect story, right? Like, this assumption that humans are bad is necessary in some ways. We need to have our guard up. Sure, I totally understand that. He needs to be worried that the only reason I don't talk to strangers on the street is because of my negative biases. Sure, maybe that's a thing. But also, at the same time, the fact that everything... sometimes, I guess, people don't underappreciate what infrastructure is, right? Like, I mean, this is a street. There's a road that cars can go down. They have to maintain that, keep that flat. Then also here's a sidewalk, so humans can walk down things. And then when those intersect, there's a crossing. Look at that. There's a little sign that's telling me not to cross the road right now because cars are allowed to cross the road. And now it's telling me I can cross. That's cool. And then there's stores. There are buildings that are built. This is one that's 99¢ and up. That's not how a 99¢ store should work. That's the opposite. Usually a 99¢ store would be 99¢ and down, right? But this is 99¢. That's like, that is not a good policy for a store. But you know, the fact that all of this exists around us, the incredible bridge, because you know, when you look at the Harlem River, it's incredible to see the size of the thing. What I'm trying to say here is that all of this is just this like monument to incredible things. If you like these weird anomalies of history and you like these weird infrastructure facts, I like them too. I cover them on my channel because it's that reminder of how soon we forget the crazy things that are done around us, and maybe how soon we shouldn't forget. Truth be told, we forget things a little too fast as a society, and some of those forgotten things come back to haunt us in the future. And if you care about history and you care about not being haunted in the future, then you know what? That's a thing that I'm very proud of you for. I think, oh wait, this is crazy. I think I'm in the same area. If you watched my live stream recently, I was doing a McDonald's hunt via GeoGuessr. I think this is actually the same neighborhood. It looks exactly the same as where I found that McDonald's. That's crazy. Let's do GeoGuessr IRL. That'll be a lot of fun. Anyway, thank you for watching this second channel video. It kind of went entirely off the rails. I'll level with you. I thought it'd be a lot simpler in one place, but you know, second channel, don't care. Goodbye. I do care. I care. I like talking about things, sharing things. It's just sometimes hard to admit. And you know what else is hard to admit? The fact that this is the second channel and I don't care, and I have to say goodbye.